My fiancé humiliated my life's work in front of his rich boss that's make me cry, so I walked out and turned his biggest flex into his biggest regret. My fiancé, Dustin, and I have been together for 5 years. I am a professional furniture restorer. I take pieces that look like firewood and turn them into high-end art. Dustin has always bragged about my talent in private, or at least I thought he did. When we bought our first home, he begged me to restore this rare, water-damaged Herman Miller table he found. I spent hours stripping the cracked lacquer, sanding the walnut wood down to its beautiful grain, and applying a flawless, buttery-smooth oil finish. When I finished, Dustin literally gasped. He kissed me and said it looked like a $5,000 masterpiece. Fast forward to last night. We were hosting a formal housewarming dinner for his new, ultra-wealthy corporate coworkers and his managing director, Richard. I was playing the perfect hostess, serving appetizers, pouring wine, and making sure everyone felt welcome. As they walked into the living room, Richard, who is an avid art and furniture collector, stopped dead in his tracks. He ran over to the coffee table, ran his fingers over the wood, and looked completely amazed. He turned to Dustin and asked, "My God, Dustin, where on earth did you source a pristine, original piece like this? This is worth a fortune." I smiled, waiting for Dustin to proudly say, "My incredibly talented fiancé made it." But he didn't. Instead, Dustin chuckled, waved his hand dismissively, and said, "Oh, that old thing? It's just some cheap sidewalk junk my girlfriend dragged home. I let her play around with some sandpaper to keep her busy. But honestly, it's a total eyesore. I'll probably replace it with a real designer piece next week." The entire room erupted into polite, condescending snickers. I stood there, frozen, holding a tray of champagne glasses. I looked at Dustin and saw the desperate, pathetic smirk on his face. He wanted so badly to fit in with these wealthy elitists that he was willing to completely demean my professional craft just to look like the wealthy, superior partner who indulgently tolerates his wife's silly little hobbies. The disrespect hit me like a physical blow, but I didn't cry, and I didn't make a scene. I set the tray down, walked over with a sweet smile, and said, "You are so right, sweetheart. It is a total eyesore. Let me get that garbage out of your way." Before anyone could utter a word, I grabbed the heavy wooden table, lifted it off the rug, and carried it right out the front door, straight into my workshop in the garage, and locked the door behind me. 2 hours later, after his boss left, Dustin came pounding on the garage door, furious. "Are you insane?" he yelled. "You embarrassed me. We had nowhere to set the drinks." I looked him dead in the eye and said, "No, Dustin, you embarrassed yourself. And since you hate my sidewalk junk so much, you can sleep on the floor because I am selling this table tomorrow." I sold the table this morning to a local high-end boutique for $2,800, and I kept every single cent. Dustin has been texting me nonstop, apologizing, claiming he was just trying to sound detached and wealthy to impress his boss, and begging me to let him back in the bedroom. But honestly, every time I look at him now, all I see is a weak man who would happily step on my shoulders just to stand an inch taller in a room full of strangers. I haven't packed my bags yet, but for the first time in 5 years, our beautiful new house feels completely empty.